welcome back. All right, news of the day video for all you fine people on the internet for your Friday. It is September the 12th. Starting off at the top of the board, this is normally how these things work. Marc-Andre Fleury has signed a PTO with the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is not going to lead to him getting a contract. He is not going to be playing this season. This is leading to him playing a preseason game September 27th against the Columbus Blue Jackets. I haven't seen this available on TV as of yet because we're still over 2 weeks out. But I'll try to track this game down. Might be kind of fun to watch and review that game. I will be doing occasional reviews during the preseason. Not a lot of it. In general, it is just preseason. It doesn't necessarily mean a lot, but this does. Fleury playing his final game wearing a jersey, and it'll be a Pittsburgh jersey that he's going to be wearing prior to his official retirement. Andre Sustr, a name I haven't said in a video in a while, and I know this because he spent the last 3 seasons in Europe. He has signed a PTO with the New York Rangers, so he's trying to earn a contract with the Rangers. He can be a good depth defenseman. We'll see whether or not he earns that contract. He is 34 years of age, so I would think it'd be a 1-year league minimum kind of contract you'd be looking at. Maybe a 2-way deal for Sustr, but at the very least, he's in camp with the New York Rangers. John Kelly, when he was let go in July by the St. Louis broadcaster, through the FanDuel Sports Network, there was some upset people that John Kelly had been let go, and John Kelly admits he was upset as well. There's a good article in The Athletic where he's talking about being let go, how he was on a 1-year contract last year, but he had assumed he'd be back with St. Louis. He had no reason to think that St. Louis broadcasters wouldn't bring him back, and he was kind of devastated. He was heartbroken when he got the call and was told, nope, we're going in another direction, you're not coming back. He pivoted then. He is now moving to Los Angeles as he is going to be working on their broadcast team also through the FanDuel Sports Network. So John Kelly going to the LA broadcast to work with Jim Fox. I think that's going to be fantastic. I we'll see how St. Louis's broadcast is. I remember, John Kelly and Darren Pang, all that. But either way, St. Louis now will have new broadcasters, and the LA Kings get John Kelly. And I think that's fantastic for the Kings. John Kelly is one of the best, I think, play-by-play announcers in the National Hockey League. It's going to be weird with him not calling Blues games. It's going to be one of those things where on a night where there's a bunch of games, I'm going to flip to an LA game. I'm going to hear Kelly's voice and go, is that the Blues? Oh, it's the Kings game. All right, cool. Because I do, while I'm flipping around through the channels, hear the voices, and you get to know all the broadcasters pretty darn quick. Alexander Georgiev signs a contract with the Buffalo Sabres, which I will admit yesterday I found to be a bit of a head-scratcher. But the reasoning is sound. So the Buffalo Sabres signed Georgiev, who's coming off of a career-worst season between Colorado and San Jose. The reason seems to be tied to UPL. Luukkonen is reportedly dealing with an injury, and there's no timetable for his return yet. They don't know if it's going to be a short-term injury or a long-term injury. At least they're not saying so publicly. So bringing in Georgiev means that he may very well miss the start of the season. And so this does change the goaltending picture in Buffalo a bit. Expectations, though, in Buffalo and around just in general the hockey circles, expectations are not high for the Buffalo Sabres. Not high for Georgiev either. So, this is one of those prove-it contracts. If Georgiev wants to show that the last couple of seasons were just him underachieving, now he has a chance to show that in Buffalo, where he definitely have less pressure than he did in Colorado. I can't say he'd have less pressure than he did in San Jose because there wasn't any pressure in San Jose. So moving on to Chicago, their young defense being talked about as we get ready for the regular season. Of course, preseason precedes the regular season. The young defense is excited for the opportunity. Sam Renzel saying that they want to grow up fast and win some games. So they want to prove that while they're young, that they're going to be able to do this. Renzel is 21 years of age. Lebshanov's 19, Del Mastro's 22, Kaiser's 23, Vlasic's 24. And all of those defensemen are expected to be amongst the 6 defensemen on opening night. Connor Murphy being the outlier. I think he's 32 years of age. So it is a very young blue line. I have said before, I'm kind of surprised Chicago doesn't have another veteran defenseman It doesn't mean a crappy veteran defenseman. It just means a veteran defenseman. I'm just very surprised that they're going with this much youth, because we know that young defensemen can make mistakes, and those mistakes can kind of balloon a little bit. But management believes in the young guys. The young guys are going to get every opportunity, and we're going to see how this works this year for the Chicago Blackhawks. Let me know your thoughts. Do you have a lot of faith in this blue line? If you're a Hawks fan, or are you thinking, this is going to end up being a lot better than what some, myself maybe included, think we're going to see from that blue line this year? Good news for Winnipeg Jets fans. Jonathan Toews at camp a week before camp. So he's there before camp, saying he's working with 4 or 5 different guys. He's clearly anxious to get back into the locker room and get back into the swing of things at the National Hockey League level. He is also holding out hope that if he plays well for Winnipeg, that might catch the eye of those picking for the Canadian Olympic team. I don't think Toews ends up on the Canadian Olympic team. I don't think he has a great chance of it, but if he has a really strong start to the season, he'd at least get into the consideration, or at least get into consideration for a job there. It would be interesting to see Toews and Kane, and if one or the other or both could work their way onto the their Olympic rosters. Kane, of course, for the Americans, and Toews for the Canadian team. But either way, he is anxious to come back and get a chance to go through training camp and everything after so much time away. Winnipeg Jets news as well. Adam Lowry, some depth down the middle there with Lowry. He is hopeful that he's going to be back either in late October or early November. I'm sure the Jets would be excited as well, because that means he misses a few weeks of the season and not more than that. And so you're looking at probably about 10 games before you'd have Lowry back in the lineup, if that's the case. And while I don't think they have, unless Toews looks like his old self this year, I don't know that the Jets have a prototypical second-line center. And so it might be kind of by committee when it comes to who's got that second-line spot. The Winnipeg Jets are in a bit of an interesting spot this year when it comes to center because of the addition of Toews, but it should be fun to see how that all works out. Our rookie tournaments. Rookie tournaments are on this weekend. In fact, there's a couple of rookie games that I'm getting notices for that are going on now. I'm not going out of my way to watch rookie tournaments. I'm not going to go out of my way to catch up on all the results, because a week from now we get into training camp, and once training camp's officially started, the rookie games don't really mean a lot. One thing to keep an eye on is there's players who do really well in the rookie tournaments, and sometimes they're players that we weren't expecting to make it onto the roster. So then you watch those players going into training camp and see if they continue to elevate their game to make things difficult. Because there's always players who make it onto the rosters that we don't expect, whether it's a veteran or rookie. Sometimes it depends, but these rookie tournaments can help to build up the players that maybe teams aren't paying as much, I can't say not as much attention to, but maybe they're not as high on as some of the other guys. And then a situation like this, some might show that they're a little underrated. So yesterday, the NHL announced that those that are acquitted in the 2018 Team Canada trial that took place here in Canada, those players can sign contracts as of October 15th. They can play hockey as of December the 1st in the National Hockey League, and the NHLPA agreed with that decision. So initially, when those players were barred from coming back, as the NHL was making up its mind on this, the NHLPA wasn't happy, but the NHLPA did release a statement yesterday saying they are fine with this decision. So it is finally put to rest, and we'll see if any of them get signed on October 15th or later on. But yeah, so there you go. News of the day for all you fine people on the internet. Let me know your thoughts. Hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support as always. I will talk to you again soon.